couldn't go too long without doing another ANSTOY AK modification. So here's my new build, this mod here. Again, just really kind of a short version, right? Using 3D printed parts up here on the top, battery box. So this one has an external battery box. I shortened it so much though, so the external plug on a regular one is somewhere out here. Didn't have that. So instead we put one back here. So let's show everything I did. So this blue part, is the normal part of the gun. That's where I cut it off. And again, that's just manually using different cutting tools, saws to get that cut off. Sanded straight as you can. This piece, or these pieces, are all printed up on the front there. So you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay. And then added the extra rail on the bottom here, even though you do have this little kind of push stop there. And then added this top piece. So this top piece along the top here, and then the rails on the side and the top piece. This was actually intended to be a battery box as well. It really got messed up in the print and was way offset, like where half of it wasn't where it should be, which it hasn't happened to me yet until then. But anyway, I was able to cut that, kind of fuse it, plastic weld it back together. And then I liked this idea of having it on here like this. So really there's nothing inside there now. What's in there is just some wiring for my battery plug. So we've got the battery that just plugs in right here. So again, I'd gotten a bunch of these types of plugs on Amazon, and then you can make it just look really nice and professional like that. Plug it in. There you go. I'll start using some 90-degree plugs too. The set I bought came with a bunch of these, so I felt like I should use them at least first. Other than that, just put a little sight on there, put a little laser on the side too. And again, here's a battery box that actually accommodates the size 11.1 volt battery that I do have. And it just has some kind of rails on it to just, dress it up a little bit. So cool ANSTOY AK47 Shorty version here using some 3D printed parts. And of course, I'll shoot this with a drum mag too, because that's fun. I just don't have a pretty silver painted drum mag because I just haven't gotten around to painting any of those. Maybe I will. So I hope you guys like it. Make sure you guys are subscribed, pay attention to all my posts, and participate in my Gel Blaster giveaways. Really appreciate the support. This has been fun building all these different ones. And of course, if you have questions about blasters, any types, feel free to ask me. And I always try to answer all the questions I get. Sometimes I don't know the answers, but if I do, I'm certainly happy to share that info. So thanks, guys.
The weather is finally nice enough here in Minnesota, so I can shoot outside, do some of these tests outside. This is a little AK47 from ANSTOY that I shortened up with some 3D printed parts. Got an 11.1 volt battery up here. Put the little plug back here. Thought that looked cool. So we'll go ahead, we'll shoot it, and we'll test the FPS on it. So we'll turn that on. All right, do a little bit of shooting first. All right, let's see what we got here. It's kind of funny. Every time I modify these, I never know where they're going to end up. This was kind of around that 135 mark, which, unchanged or stock, you can usually get about 170 out of these. So something going on in what I've done has slowed it down. I don't know if it's a barrel. I don't know if it's just slightly off enough that it can't shoot it out as hard. But it still shoots really fast. Still fun gun. Still cool looking gun. So I like that. But it is interesting to see how much different it can end up changing the FPS. So ANSTOY AK47, shortened up, really short, almost pistol style, right? And then again, auxiliary plug put in. You got that 11.1 volt battery there. Of course, if you're going to put 11.1s in any of your gel blasters, do so at your own risk. I have not hurt any of mine, but I don't use them for long extended periods of time either, so keep that in mind. One other thing, just want to tell you about how far we're shooting this, about 50 feet. So just so not really any issue going that 50 feet with this. So again, make sure you guys are liking the videos, make sure you're commenting, and please participate in the giveaways. Lots of giveaways, at least one every month for a couple gel ball blasters, usually custom ones that I've custom painted and modified with 3D parts. So make sure you're checking them out. Make sure you're following me on Instagram too.